Well, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, everyone. And I'm Reverend Lawrence Adell Sefa. And we are here with Up Close and Personal with Reverend Lawrence Adell Sefa. I have at my left, which is your right, okay, Michelle Burrell,
Michelle Burrell, Michelle Turner.
Michelle Turner, and she's an entrepreneur. She is a person that has developed many businesses, not just one. So I've been told. And we're going to talk about how you out there that are listening to Up Close and Personal with Reverend Lawrence Adell Sifa, how to start a business. How, there's entrepreneurs out there that don't know how to do it. And we're going to talk to Michelle. Now, she has, two businesses? Michelle Skincare.
Michelle Skincare.
And tell us a little bit about Michelle Skincare.
Well, in terms of entrepreneurship, what got me started with that was the desire for healthy, clean skin because of the water situation we had here. That
In Flint, that the whole world knows about.
Yes,
Flint water
exactly.
crisis.
And though I had an interest in it before, being a wife and into church and virtuous woman, all that type of stuff.
And a mother.
Yes, which is why we'll get into my nonprofit.
Mhm.
But yes, I into and a mother. I got into it to nourish the skin.
Okay. Nourish your skin. And
They
your
had a lot of
skin,
skin problems.
I have heard your skin is the largest organ of our body.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it houses everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And if we take care of our skin, it helps our organs and everything within us to operate properly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I know
Yes.
very little about your business.
Yes. Well, you're doing very good.
Okay. And then you also have mothers, women, wives.
Mother, Woman, Wife
Right.
Agency.
Agency.
That's the nonprofit.
Nonprofit. And tell us about that. Why is that a nonprofit?
Because it's charitable and it's a passion. It's a strong, driven passion that I've been involved with for since 1997.
1997.
And even when I wasn't paving the pound or pounding the pavement, I continued to do it behind closed doors through other people.
Behind closed doors.
With suggestions and little incentives to help people carry on, even though we were going separate ways due to moving or another job or whatever. So I found that passion. And then, I have people out there that still have my old literature from my.
Your old literature from
I have
1997?
Pastors of I'm just at the upper room.
Okay.
They used
Pastors
to be,
of the upper room. Okay. All right.
They used to be Flint police. Both of them have retired, and they are the pastors of the upper.
What are their names? Now they're still with us.
I have forgotten their names, but I guess you'd have to go to church service too.
Okay, all right.
I've had so many. I'm so bad with that. People look at me like, "Oh, Michelle," and I didn't. And to be fair, to be so unequipped with answers and things, I thought I was talking about my soaps. I didn't know I was talking about entrepreneurship. So please forgive me. I'm just throwing it out there because I wasn't ready for that. I would have came a different way and I wouldn't have brought these things.
Right.
Everybody knows I'm right there. I'm actual, factual, matter of fact type of person. I'm dead on. So I'm trying to think of her name. I think it was. I don't want to get it wrong.
Well, that's why you're up close and personal.
I don't mind.
Our program,
Miss
we allow
Bradley
others to understand certain things that they're looking to do with themselves and how to do it. Now, when did you start your business?
I first began in 97. Although it really started in me before then, I just didn't know as a child. My mother was an influence.
What's your mother's name?
My mother has passed.
Yes, and her name?
And my mom's name is Mommy.
Mommy.
I'm keeping it to myself.
Okay, good.
My mom retired from downtown Flint.
Mm-hmm.
Her maiden name is Burrell,
Burrell.
and that's why I yes. And she retired from working for the city. Um, she was I am her daughter.
You're her daughter.
Hmm.
Okay.
Beautiful woman.
How many siblings do you have?
Too many, and then some of them I don't even know their names. But my mother had 3 children.
3 children. Your mother.
Hmm.
And how many sons and daughters? You're the oldest, the youngest, the
Well,
middle?
I'm her oldest daughter,
Okay.
and
You were the experiment.
well, I'm gonna get into what y'all be doing and stuff like that when y'all be having us, but because I've had some of my own now.
Okay. All right.
But no, I'm gonna say I was her love child.
Yeah. And
Her,
then you have a brother and sister, or just
I
two
have
brothers?
I love to know I have a brother and a sister
Brother and sister. Okay.
who are both uh passionate and able people. They're business inclined,
Just like
and
yourself.
we're unique,
Uh-huh.
and we're all driven.
You're all driven.
Oh yeah, they you know, she did very well with us.
Yeah. Looks like she taught you some very basic Christian principles. Train up a child in the way they should go, and when they get old, they will not depart. Is that true?
And it even goes further back than her to my grandmother who stapled it in all of us.
Ah.
Hmm.
So your grandmother on your mom's side or your dad's side?
Yes, my
Okay.
mom. Because before her, she lost her mom. My grandmother
Sorry.
lost her mom when she was very young. Her mom was 50 or better Indian,
Okay.
and her mom was 100%. So that's how that goes.
Okay. All right. Um, Tell us a little bit more about when did you have in your heart to start your business?
So
And that's the mother, woman,
mother, woman, wife,
wife,
moi,
moi.
moi.
Okay, agency.
Mhm. I started this not knowing, even when I was young. My brother reminds me how we used to sit down and I would tell him things I was going to do and where I was going to be and how I was going to furnish my home.
And he's younger than you, and
Mhm.
you would sit down with him. And your other sister also?
Well, siblings do that.
Yeah, but your other sister also.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we would look through magazines and things. So I've had it in me since I was a child.
Okay.
So that's where it starts.
What particular magazines did you look at? Now we have the social medias. Back then there
Right.
were magazines.
Remember, oh my God, let's give a shout out to Ebony Magazine.
Okay.
Let's give a shout out to Jet Magazine, Mademoiselle, and Good Housekeeping. We had Oprah even came out with a magazine in the end that wasn't around back then.
Oh, wasn't it?
Oprah.
Oprah's magazine is O.
Yeah, I
I
can't
try to
remember.
remember. I think that's what they called it. O.
Yeah, I'm not
Stand for
familiar. It wasn't
Oprah.
around back then. I was just giving a shout out.
Yeah.
But those were the magazines, besides the Oprah one, the ones that I used to really look in at the library.
Okay.
I would go to the library where Oak Street Clinic is now
Okay.
on Pearson Road here in Flint.
Oak Street Clinic. All right.
It used to be the public library on our side
Oh,
of town.
okay.
And I would go there and sit. And that is when I learned that I wanted to go into the military and do it
Did
as
you
a
go into the
career.
military?
Yes, I'm a veteran. I'm a
Forever.
road veteran.
Thank you very much for serving our country. And what branch of the service were
Thank
you
you
in?
for your support. I serve in the Army.
In the Army. Okay.
Mhm.
And where were you stationed, Michelle?
I was stationed When I first began, I was stationed at Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Okay.
Mhm.
All
I was
right.
stationed Schofield Barracks, Hawaii.
All right. Oh, so you went to Hawaii. Very nice.
Yeah, I lived in Hawaii.
Now, how long did you live in Hawaii?
A term.
A term, which is how many years?
2 to 4 years you do your terms. You do your when you go into the military, you stay where you serve. Whether it's overseas or here, you're still serving the you're still serving your country, but you're stationed. I was stationed in those two
Well,
places.
probably you know that 90% of the islands are owned by the royal family
Mm-hmm.
in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of interesting before they became a state.
Mm.
So, I mean, like a lot of those big, tall buildings, beautiful things in Hawaii are on leased property
Mm-hmm.
for like 99-year lease or something.
Yeah, well, that's because we can't buy property on um other countries' soil. You can only lease it.
So you understand that
Yeah.
Hawaii is another country, but yet it was brought as a state of the
I
United
was just going to
States.
say they belong to the United States now.
Yeah. But the property itself,
Is now ours.
oh, now it's ours.
Yeah, it belongs to the United States.
So it doesn't belong to the royal family because a lot of that property is leased.
Well, a lot of negotiating and things go on all the time with countries, and they have their bureaucracies and their red tapes that we don't understand. And we probably, not being an attorney or a fly on the wall, we would never know all the innuendos or the little things that they do behind the scenes, but it belongs to the American soil.
Okay. Because I have a cousin that
It's
is a
it's a
realtor in
military
Hawaii.
base.
Realtor in Hawaii, and he sells real estate.
So how is he selling
He
another
sells
country's
leases,
property?
lease. They go by lease. He's a United States citizen,
Uh-huh. Oh,
and
excuse me, my nose. I'm
they
so
lease a
sorry.
lot of the property in
They lease a
Hawaii.
lot because people can't afford to buy, and that's one of the highest interest rates in the America besides California and Florida.
Wow. Wow.
Because of where the location in Texas, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, they would lease a lot because people don't have money.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
What level in the Army did you go to as far as rank?
Well, I was supposed to be sergeant, but I came out prematurely, honorably.
Okay, good. You had an honorable discharge.
Yes, I am an honorable soldier. I didn't
Beautiful.
wimp out. I didn't cop out because of an injury. I came home nobly.
Oh, good. Now, you were supposed to be a sergeant
Yeah, I didn't re-up for it.
in re-up
That's
for it.
that was part of. They usually do that to a lot of us.
Yeah.
If you stay, you right there.
Yeah.
Like I earned that before.
Michelle,
But
I never had the opportunity to serve in the armed forces. I'm an American citizen. I was born here in great city of Flint, Michigan, as you were. And we are Flintstones, so to speak, as they say. But the thing is, I do happen to know that sergeants are just a little bit under God as far as their power.
I understand what you're saying.
Is that true?
I don't like that at all because what it goes like is I can't there's a lot of cussing in the military
Yeah,
that
I
I
know.
don't do that
We just got a
anymore.
call. Hold on.
Okay.
Thank you for calling in. This is Reverend Lawrence Adell Sefa here on Up Close and Personal with Reverend Lawrence Adell Sefa. Who's calling?
Good afternoon. This is Jane.
Hi, Jane. We're interviewing Michelle Burrell Turner.
Yes, Michelle.
Michelle. And she is an entrepreneur. And do you have any questions for Michelle?
Could you tell me what her latest invention idea or
Her latest
concept
invention
was?
idea
What I
or product?
Okay. Well, thank you for asking. What is your name?
Jane.
Jane. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane. Hello.
So, my name is Michelle, though, by the way. But
Oh, no, I know.
okay,
Kind of stuff.
I. So, my latest invention, I wouldn't call it an invention. It was more like, well, I guess it would be. But there's already a product such as is. I just formulated my own formula, and it would be a soap that you use for people who are, say, challenged for getting out of the bed or can't move, bedridden.
Mhm.
I got a like a cleansing soap that it's gelatinous. It is cream, so that you could use on a person so that they won't get the bed sores and the build of bacteria and
Wow.
fungus. It's an antibacterial soap that I have created.
Okay.
That's one of the things that I have, and another one. If or did you want me to keep
Go
going?
ahead. Go ahead.
Another one, thank you for asking, Miss Jane, would be my hair product. I
Okay.
grow, excuse me, I'm going to, if you permit me
Go
to,
ahead.
I grow my hair. I started this, it was more like I have grown several inches of my hair that it goes pretty a ways. It goes pretty much down to here. Past my it goes down my shoulder blade.
Mhm.
And this is no other product except my own.
That grows hair.
So those are the two things that I, as an entrepreneur, thank you, Miss Jane, have invented or concocted, or however you want to say. I pretty much have passion for, and I didn't. The people were having problems with alopecia,
Alopecia,
and
which is
someone
baldness.
wants at well, it causes baldness.
Yes.
Someone once asked me a long time ago, and then more recent, what to do, you know. And I started to combat against the fungus and gently nourish the hair follicles and things.
Mhm.
So I studied.
Your product is for someone that has a condition,
I use it and I don't have a condition.
but it's supposed to help your hair grow.
Yes. And it also combats against fungal and bacteria growth.
How much you, how much does your hair grow per month? Half inch?
Um, that's like well, we all know that everyone's hair grows the same. This helps the breakage and it helps your scalp to be in good condition so that you can take advantage of what your body does naturally and normally for you due to your genes. And you know what I'm saying? Because I can't make your body do something that mine would do, or mine's do something that yours would do. But what's natural for you and how you eat and how you take care of yourself will give you an advantage. But it will, like another product, I'm going to say it. I like Head and Shoulders. They stop dandruff.
Really?
They don't get a lot of you know what I'm saying? You know what
Yeah.
that means when they say you don't see the flakes and things on
Yeah.
your clothes.
They
Amen.
stop.
So when I
dandruff.
tell you I have a shampoo, and it
Mm.
conditions your hair and it stops your scalp from getting fungal
Which
and
is caused by the disease of alopecia.
um I'm what I mean is people have buildup
Okay.
and it
Michelle,
yes ma'am.
do you have these products on the market right now?
I don't have any of them on market. I do it a little different. I'm a distributor. So yes, I guess I do.
Yeah. So how would
Okay,
people
so
purchase these
You're
items?
right, Miss
these products are available, but they have to come through you to get them, right?
Yes, ma'am. They would go to me, and they would buy in bulk.
Oh, I want everybody to know we are not drinking any alcoholic beverages. That is sweet tea. But go. I just wanted you to know. I don't.
And I didn't want to brandish the tea company because they ain't paying me to do this. So I put it
Yeah.
in the cup.
But so you invented these items.
Well, I came up with my formula for a situation with the water here because people were having problems with rashes. The hair, because there's no nurturing in the water, just
Mhm.
lead, and they had oh Lord, what was that thing that was going legionnaires and
Legionnaires' disease cause. Yeah.
what was all that other stuff, fungal and stuff in the
Yeah.
water and slime and stuff. Because of the pipes, they had a lot of slurry in them. They
Lead.
hadn't run, and so we got caught up in that. And then
So Michelle, how do you promote yourself?
well, um,
Can I tell you the reason why I asked? I haven't
I will.
asked Michelle myself,
Yes.
and I have 2 items I would like to get a patent on, and then you have to do I know what the process is of when you have to get a mold and all the stuff to go through, and then
Okay.
there's different ways of selling one's product. But have you been? How long have you been selling your product?
That's the thing. People get into things for different reasons. That's why I answer questions dead on, like the way you would sell your things.
No, I'm not asking that.
Oh,
I'm saying,
what are
because
you
your
asking?
statement, I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I appreciate
Mhm.
your desire. It shows your creativity and desire
Yes,
to.
because mine, Miss Jane, if I may say, it's not so much the dollar. So I was doing things, and I'm going to mention it on here. I was just doing things at the YWCA free. It was a charitable thing that I did weekly, monthly, and it had nothing to do with making money.
So
It
could I?
was hold on, you guys. It was just a
I'm
simple.
gonna have to let you go. I'm sorry, I'm in a situation where
All
Okay,
right. Thank
it
you.
was it was just a soaping class.
So you actually, as a humanitarian thing,
Mhm.
because of the water situation with lead and the pipes and all that,
Mhm.
where individuals in the city of Flint were having trouble, and also some other cities throughout the country and the world that see this program, um, to help them with different situations with their wellness. Is that right?
Different situations in there. What?
Their wellness, like their
Oh,
skin and their hair and
no, just skin.
just skin, because you
Just cleansing it.
cleansing the
That's it.
skin. Okay.
So the shampoo would help along lines with moving the see, I'm not a doctor and it makes no claims,
No.
but the products I use, like soap, I can say soap is going to clean you. Okay. So that's what my things do. And the antibacterial shampoo, and I apologize to Miss Jane if she got offended.
She's listening. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I apologize. I just want to, if you ask me something, I want to be able to say it,
Okay.
you
And
know.
express it properly.
Yeah,
Okay.
at least 1 or 2 sentences.
Okay.
You guys
Okay.
just
Now, so it is not for profit.
the skincare is, but like I was saying, she asked me how do I market.
Hmm.
I guess to prove that I was an entrepreneur. I don't know why the questions were firing at me, but I appreciate them. I'm not offended at all. I'm an entrepreneur and I open these things because I believe in making a way for my children, my grandchildren.
Okay. All right. She was more than likely, and I'm assuming this, asking because she was an inventor of a couple of products and she wanted to know
She said
what
that.
to do, how to promote those. Is what she was looking at.
She well, you have to let her ask that because she told me that's not what she was saying. But what I would say is, and that's just to be fair, because that's what she said no, that's not why. So she's left. She had something to do, and I respect her, and I was listening.
Okay. Now, for our listening and viewing audience, okay, here on Up Close and Personal,
Mhm.
with Reverend Lawrence Adell Sefa. The thing um, is it a good time to start a business right now with all the problems in the world
It's
and the
always a
economy?
good time
Really? And why do you say that?
because you are an extension of your business. You
Mm,
are promoting you, what you believe in, and what you're about, and what you have to do in order to eat. You don't work, you don't eat. You are also encouraging your family to have hope and to dream, to
okay.
get up, to extend yourself. All those things are positive and characteristics and traits that we need to keep exercising.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier that your
I did.
grandmother, your mother,
Oh,
all trained you and your family, like your brother and other sister, you'd sit around and talk about what you're going to do with your life and what you're going to do as
well, that
far
was
as your
just me
home.
and my siblings. My grandmother came from another time where kids and children and adults just didn't mix. You did what they were very sweet. I never heard them raise their voice, my grandparents.
Okay.
I never saw an argument. I've never heard them scold anybody. That was a different time era, though. That's very important to note.
Yes.
Um, my mother, on the other hand, she walked through. When she walked through, you knew it. You know what I'm saying?
When she walked,
And
everybody
no, I'm just being
like
comical,
E.F.
but
Hutton.
me too. My
When
mother was a lady.
I know
She no. She was a lady, and she had a way about her that I studied, and I am very proud.
it commanded.
It commanded and it insisted because of her feminine wiles. It insisted. You looked
Okay.
at her and you just saw her. She was eloquent and she was I wouldn't call her an alpha female because I'm not into all that. I wouldn't dare say that. But my mother, she knew her place as far as what she was and what she wasn't. And she put that in me.
Okay. So, do you think people today do that same thing, or is it a different era? Commanding with their walk.
I think people what I see, I don't know. But I'm not convinced of that from what I see. I think pretty much that's why we have a lot of trends because people pretty much follow and then they go for what's in. If you had more people being themselves, there would be more versatile uh, businesses instead of people always being able to monopolize things. Because here's an example, if I
Okay.
may say. When there's plenty of something, it's not needed as much, right?
Uh,
Okay, what I'm thinking about is, and I didn't want to say,
Based on availability. Okay.
and if everyone starts having it, it's not so much in demand. You just keep what you need, and then we can be civil about it
Hmm.
until someone comes along being greedy and want more and want to dominate or wants to govern or control or start a little colony or something like
Okay.
that.
Well, basic economics is that when there's a lot of something, it's not needed. But if they're limited, then it creates value artificially. Because a lot of things, okay, here, for example,
Money.
United States, right?
Mm,
Uh, what's hindering a lot of us in the United States is the price of gasoline and causing the transport of products in that.
yeah.
We have more oil in the United States, but we're limited through, how would you say, the Environmental Protection Agency from drilling oil in certain places that would cause the oil and what products it causes. There's medicines from oil. There's gasoline, benzene, which is gasoline.
We're
Um,
going from entrepreneurs. Okay, the thing about that is that's political.
It's artificially created.
No, 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 yes, sir. And it's political. And the way I say that because I'm sorry of the issues of the people in charge controlling. That we get into that, we start thinking about how they're talking about shutting down the gasoline mounds or whatever,
Wow.
sealing them. Biden started sealing them and selling them to other countries.
Rather
And
than
then
our people using.
and then there was news everywhere where they had people just running to buy, he was bidding them off and they was like, don't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of spit at the people who used to mine back in the day
hmm
and all that they went through to get that. But anyway, it just the lives that were lost and sacrificed just to get a little bit of oil or gold.
Gold.
But that's neither here nor there. I'm just
Okay.
saying that was political, and they're trying to say we're not going to be thinking about oil very long. And people keep on saying, I'm like, okay. They're saying these things in magazines and stuff.
Yeah. Question. Michelle, skincare. Getting back to your products.
Oh, okay.
Um, if let's say someone out there wanted to develop a product,
My nose is
what should they
itching.
do?
If they wanted to what now?
Develop a product and market it, whether it be for profit or humanitarian reasons.
I say if someone wants to develop something, it is in them to do so. And you wouldn't have to tell them a thing because they're going to keep going until it becomes.
But how do they do it? You've done that with your skincare.
Yes. And the
To
way
help
you
them.
to help them, they
Mhm.
wouldn't need the help because they're going to do it in spite of. I'm not trying to curb it. I'm saying this the way that I'm saying it because just like you got people, I'm gonna tell you why. And
Okay.
respecting the people who are the entrepreneurs and the ones who are out here developing things
Yeah.
for humanitarian reasons with the love and passion that they have. They're putting in all these hours on who they are. At the same time, they're ridiculed. They might have to sacrifice. When you spend a lot of time over here away from the mainstream, you're not going to be viewed the same as the mainstream, and they're not always normalized anyway in our eyes.
Okay.
They're kind of eccentric with the bullying, the harsh treatment. You'd heard it, nerds,
Okay.
computer geeks. This is what the names we had when
Okay.
we were young.
Let me take it to another level.
Okay.
You've heard of a guy by the name of Nikolai Tesla. He found a way
Uh-huh.
to take electricity, generate electricity from the natural things
Uh-huh.
for free. And a guy by the name of J. Piermont Morgan that ended up purchasing that invention from Nikolai Tesla and used it to make money.
For the cars, the Tesla cars.
No, I'm talking about Nikolai Tesla.
I don't
The
know who these
electricity
people are.
we use. Nikolai Tesla was a genius. And
So are
he did
we,
it
if
for
you allow yourself to be.
humanitarian purposes. He created electricity. Now, what happened was J. Piermont Morgan, which is J.P. Morgan, you've heard of him.
The bank.
Yeah, well, he was how would you say?
Well, that's
A
how
promoter.
you asked
He
me.
bought
That's
it.
how, Chase.
He bought it.
Yeah, that's how I
Okay,
know.
that was one of his things with the bank. But he bought that idea, stole it from Nikolai Tesla,
Oh my. Okay.
and
I can't
then
speak on that.
used
'Cause I
it
don't
to
know.
make money.
Okay.
Okay, Nikolai Tesla did it for humanitarian reasons, as you're talking about. Okay, and out of the naturals in the earth, he wanted electricity to be free for everyone rather than charging people for it. Sort of like your skincare product.
No. I understand. Um, what I do it because that's who I am.
That was what he was.
I'm not comparing myself to him.
But if
I don't
somebody,
have to bring in another name.
I know, but if
because
somebody brought your
I
idea,
don't know who that is, and they don't know me.
no, he died many years ago.
That is a good name. Too.
Yeah.
And who is his family from?
Nikolai Tesla.
America?
John, where's Nikolai Tesla from?
That's a strong
Talk
name.
to our producer. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Europe.
Eastern Europe country. Yeah.
So we have a lot of yes, no, but not in here. Just
All right.
we have a lot of see, that's the thing. You have people who put in the time and the work, and you are an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
You are a go-getter. You're not going to sit up here and hand it. You couldn't if you tried, because they're going to always keep coming back to you. What's next? Well, how you do that? And that's why it's good to charge people for classes, because until they pick up that rhythm
Yeah.
that's not in them, that's what really that is. They're going to have to pick up that rhythm, that nature.
hmm
And when they finally get that nature, then they can probably run a little bit. But they're going to, you see, if it's, you have to understand what you have to maintain, you have to continue. And if it's not something you're going to do, it doesn't make sense to tell somebody how to do
Well, that's
what they're
people that
not.
are listening to our program right now want to know how to market their products, how to create their products as you did, Michelle.
Well, I don't know what I'm not the type of person who would market, and I'm not the expertise in marketing and promoting. I'm just the person with the passion to
Passion.
make the product.
Okay, so you
And the
manufacture.
promoter would be the guy who started to come here with me today. Well, he's more just a digital creator. I don't really. My products make way for themselves.
Mhm.
When you see how how healthy my hair is,
Mhm.
and you knew the harsh conditions that I used to have upon me, and that I no, this is some, if I can talk.
Go ahead.
I didn't have the best of conditions that I was living in. Yet my skin didn't develop sores or mites and all these other things that people live through. I went through some harsh things, some pretty harsh living conditions. And my soaps kept me healthy, my
Okay.
skin and my hair.
Wonderful.
And I'm saying that because there are people who are homeless. I'm talking about my city, and the reason I developed it in the first place, not necessarily for the people who want to market. Because if you got money, you can always market.
By the way, I found out where Tesla's from. He was from Croatia.
Croatia.
He was
Yeah,
from
so Eastern
Croatia?
Central. Yeah, so
He was
it bothered me.
responsible for a lot of inventions.
Oh,
Yeah, he was a master inventor from
okay.
Croatia. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for that.
Thank you, John.
Yeah. So I'm just a small nobody. I'm gonna say that. I'm not a Tesla, but I'm mighty in who I am
Okay.
because I'm here.
Well, he was just an ordinary person, an inventor of a lot of products, and then some people stole those products from him and
That's
created
terrible.
money. That's why we have electricity.
Yes.
Okay.
And
And
so
there was
that's
an
why
automobile
you're
company
here,
named after him.
because without you and your ability to do this, I wouldn't be sitting here in this huge, fabulous, over the top studio.
Thank you very much.
I'm like, okay, and I'm here because of you.
Thank you.
And I'm not trying to be fun. Look, I'm not one to polish or throw sugar. You may not be Tesla, but you open doors for people.
That's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing for the world to understand certain things.
Yes. And I apologize for not being able to give the information for marketing. And I'm being honest, I don't do that. What I do is I come to you and I give you my product
Okay, let's take it the other level.
and I take away your problem that you're
Those
having.
of you that are out there listening want to create certain things
Okay.
for others.
hmm
How do they go about it? You said you have a passion for that.
Well, the way I go about it,
Mhm.
okay, the way I go about it is I don't sleep all the time. I don't no. That's part of my characteristic.
Okay.
I am always and I'm never tired of soaping.
Hmm.
I'm never tired of coming up with a plan for being the bridge over troubled water for my family.
Okay.
Coming up with entrepreneurial things, little things that I foresee in my family that are personal. Being a mother. This is why it's called Mother Woman Wife Agency
Okay.
since 1997. It's like a candle that doesn't burn out. And that's the best way I can explain it. But some of the steps that I do, it changes the way you look at things. It changes the way you speak to people because the outcome that you get is the results you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you become, like I was saying earlier, a little different than the norm. And you begin to accept that because you are. And you begin to wear it as a badge instead of how people label it because they can't do it. You're one of a kind, Pastor
Thank
Adell.
you.
You see
Thank
what I'm
you.
saying?
Yeah. Well, see, the reason I brought you here was because inside my spirit said they, our viewing public, need to see and hear and listen to what you have to offer to help them. That's the reason I brought you.
Who will I have said no? It's all you.
Yes.
You better stop.
Yes, yes.
Don't make me
Because you are
Okay.
you're one of a kind. You're an inventor. You've seen a situation just for our small talk. I've learned things from you. You've seen a situation because of the environment that you're living in here in the city of Flint, where I've lived in, and your things that you needed. You created things to solve those problems. Your skincare, your hair that you had, and that's things that you can share with others.
Well, let me say this. Now that you've said that, I have to, if I may.
Go ahead.
You almost made me cry because I feel this in my soul. Hold on.
Go ahead.
There are so many
That's why it's up
people.
close and personal. Go ahead.
It is. I gotta say this. There are so many people. Don't do me. There are so many people in my city who are just like me in another way. It's voting season. There are so many people here. Oh my God. Okay, I'm trying to stop.
it's okay.
You caught me. You caught me. Okay. There are so many people here who have hidden talents that they haven't
Good.
been able to because of oppression.
Okay.
Because they don't understand that you have to be true to yourself and get rid of the lies before you can get to just the door of who you are.
Yes.
You know, and you're so busy spitting venom on people and laughing at people and pointing at people, you don't even know that when you do that, you're poisoning yourself because we are a body ministry.
Yes, we are.
And if we're going to work together, you have to learn how to be you first and bring it to the table because there's a community. That's the table. And in order for us to be a community, you got to bring some to it.
True.
Okay?
That's very true.
So what you're bringing to it, don't let it be poison. Because then we got to fight that too. And then you want to stand up there and fight people that is fighting the poison because you want to be the one to bring it. I don't got time for all that. So I just
Michelle,
yes.
you struck a chord.
What happened?
This morning I was reading at
I'm
about
sorry.
5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. I
Yeah.
sleep very little too.
Okay.
And my body rests whenever I need to. If it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I need to sleep for 3 hours, I'll sleep 3 hours and stay up. But the thing is, I was reading about Hermetic philosophy. And Hermes, which the name Hermetic philosophy was named after, believed that what we need to do This is before Jesus and all of them, before Buddha and that. He was an ancient Egyptian uh, thinker. Said that when you spew out poison, it comes back to you. When you give out love, it comes back to you. And that's just part of the universe and who God is. You see, before God created, he always existed. He didn't have a beginning or an end before he created us. And that is the love that you should have for people. You know, a Christian principle, if you speak badly of someone, it will come back towards you. If you speak good, it will come back towards you. As you give, so you receive. You receive the fruit of your lips, which means whatever you give out, you receive.
May I say
Go ahead.
that was awesome? I knew nobody you spoke of except my Father in heaven, which is all I need. So that was awesome.
Now, your products are who you are. Am I right in saying that or no?
I would say, yeah, my products are one small extension of me.
Yes. And your giving to others is your product. You brought gifts today. I thought that
Oh.
was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a principle.
No. Well, see, and then another thing about it is so personal when it's the times that was brought out through political mess like COVID and all the things that go with it, and people cringing and then coming together. It's us being creative, inventional, and all that other kind of stuff. It
Mhm.
becomes personal now because now you're going to either make it or it's going to break you. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's a lot, and you're found out in areas where the people don't have much. Let me stop speaking
Go ahead.
urbanomics and stuff. Where people are struggling, where there's a struggle, and we don't have the opportunities, we're found out a lot quicker. You can have the same mindsets in people who live in rural areas, and their opportunities will enhance and help them.
They're different.
They're different. The communities are set up a little different. I'm so sorry, my nose is running. The communities are set up a little different.
Yeah.
But here, you have to really be somebody. See, that's the thing. That's why we like get it out the mud so much.
Okay.
That's why we come with this song. They're not like us. You know what I'm saying? I felt that in myself because you're not. You're giving everything.
Okay.
You don't even understand where we coming from. You know what I'm saying? And I can proudly say that because I know what I'm talking about.
Well, there's an Indian term. You walk a mile in my moccasins, and then you know who I am.
Hmm. But a lot of people not jumping and walking our
No,
shoes, that
no.
throwing the dirt that they don't want to deal with, it falls down. But they're not equalizing and balancing things. And then when we put it off of us, we're categorized. But it's not done on. See, all these little intricate details that you have to deal with in the hood, you don't deal with in other areas. Everything is more politicized. It is more potent. It is more, and the only time it is stronger in other areas is when there's a voice.
Voice.
Oh, you hear money.
What voice?
But you
The
don't
voice
li-
is money.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So without money,
Power.
there's no voice. Is that what you're saying? Or maybe I'm getting it wrong.
I don't hear nobody. I mean, they when they do they hear you, but you don't have. So what?
Well,
You okay?
let me give you an example.
Now I'm gonna give you one.
Okay.
I have got rubbed the wrong way, and I tried to lift that burden legally off of me because of where I live
Mhm. Which is in Flint.
and because
I
of
call it
what
the
they
great city of
use
Flint, Michigan.
Flint for. They use Flint for opportunities to come up from nothing and then go somewhere else and be great.
Okay, all right.
Political and business wise. Yes.
That's happened a lot in Flint.
Yes, lately. So they start here in grassroots and go somewhere else. And it's not like used for pride, it's used to make mistakes and like I said, opportunists use it.
Okay.
Um, I had a I had a charge put on me that should never be because it is not hard to see
Okay.
that it shouldn't be. But they want to tell me the steps I need to take and what I need to do to get it up. I don't want to. No.
Okay.
I got stuff to do because you won't even let me eat like you. So I got to go get 3-4 jobs, and I'm already doing this and doing that. And then you look at me like, oh, well, all you had to do. No, just get this mess up off me. 'Cause I got I want my kids way past what you got me
Okay,
stuck
let me
at.
ask you a question. Do you love the people of Flint?
I am, yeah.
Okay. If you mentioned a lot of people make things here and then go other places. If you were suddenly to become prosperous with your soaps and your skincare, would you promote Flint? Would you help the people of Flint?
I think I am prosperous. It's not for
No,
money.
no. Would you help the people of Flint? Because you said without money you have no voice.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer is yeah.
Some people, they'll make something somewhere and then they'll forget where they're from. And they'll forget the people that live next door to them.
I think that's rather shallow. See, you got to remember who you're talking to. You know, I'm very different and controversial. My nose is itching. I don't know if it's killing me. I'm sorry. I promise you, I don't do anything. My nose is itching. But I'm trying hard not to sneeze.
Well, let me give you a short example. The man that you have sitting next to you, myself,
Yes,
okay,
very honorable.
I
Thank you.
served the governor,
I believe
Ricky
you.
Blanchard,
Oh, okay.
and Bill Schuette and Randolph with a presentment letter to pull a grand jury on them for what they did, one of the things, to the people of the city of Flint, poisoning almost 100,000 people because they were poor. I went through complete hell for 2 years. The state of Michigan came against me. They wanted to put me in prison for 10 to 20 years. That presentment letter was served on the Court of Record, which is the Supreme Court of the state of Michigan. And in 6 days, I got a note back that they couldn't do anything. And they're supposed to serve the governor at that time, the attorney general, and the head of the legislature. And then they put me through complete hell. They criminalized me. They wanted to put me away for 10 to 20 years.
Retaliated.
Right. But it did not show up what I did. Okay. Now, would I do it again? Yes, because I love the people of Flint. I love what is wrong.
Then you shouldn't
corrected.
do that again. Then, if you love the people of Flint,
what?
You shouldn't do that again.
I know, because
should,
I
because
was almost gone, and if it wasn't for the
you need
love
to-
of my family, my mother Nabia Sefa, and my sister Michelle, coming up with large amounts of money to keep me on the street, I wouldn't be here talking to you. But I love God and I love people. And I would not forget the people of the city of Flint. Now, God has put me back here in Flint. I lived right downtown. Did he give me a nice place? Yes, he gave it to me. I couldn't afford it. I would have been homeless if it wasn't for people that love me and if it wasn't
his name.
for serving a God that loved me.
Hallelujah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And Art Spangler is the one that gave me a bedroom in the upper room here in Flint on the west side for 18 months and evicted me. And then I found the apartment that I have. Wanted to evict me. Okay? But it really was God pushing me where he wanted.
I gotta stop you because I love you.
Okay. But I
I
want
know,
you to know.
I know your strength, and I know you don't mind saying what you say.
No, the whole
But I
world.
still, they probably already heard this several
No,
times.
this is the first time I've ever put it out because of your passion.
Well, I'm gonna step harder. I'm gonna because I was going to sue my city not for money, just probably like $5, $10,
Okay.
something like that, because of what they did to me.
Okay.
That doesn't mean I don't love the people who made the mistake.
Oh,
Even though,
yeah.
hold on,
Okay.
even though they don't see me as nobody, or they might try to write me off as baddie, or listen, when we follow Christ,
That's what I do.
and I know you do.
Day in and day out.
I know I do, Lord forgive me. So when we do these things, we have to do things. God gave you a mission. We don't want to lose nobody.
No.
God gonna do the work.
No
The
one
battle
left
is not
behind.
ours.
Yes.
So sometimes we can get so caught up in a cause. Sometimes the person that's doing the hurting the people is the one he's trying to reach. And you're the one God's using.
Thank you.
So be careful that you don't lose your witness
And
to
my
that
freedom.
person.
And my freedom.
You ain't gonna lose your freedom because this laws. But you might lose the witness.
Okay.
And the point won't be made, and God won't be glorified because you're glorifying not you, but I could be glorified. I could be so mad. I'm gonna make my point,
Okay.
and and then it's glorifying me and all that anger.
All right.
And that even though you're wrong, you gave me that felony. No, it's you know what I'm saying? I don't want to not be able to talk to you civilly.
Okay. All right.
I don't want it in my repertoire or my past that we can't shake hands later on. That we bring into the table such an illness that we can't be human no more. That just because we disagree on something, we can't hold a conversation, but we still tell our youth and our families and our community, hey, violence is not the way.
No, it's
And
not.
we respect one another, and all these other cliche things that we say but don't practice.
Don't misunderstand, but Martin Luther King Jr., his dream of 61 years ago still has not been recognized, has not been realized because of our, how would you say, pride, jealousy for one another. And he believed in nonviolent protest.
It's funny because I'm listening to him now, but
Yeah.
it make it when you say things like that, that's because of your passion and where you are and what you want to see. Because when you hear something, it ministers to you and where you are and how you hear. So for someone else, like myself, it might be, I can see pretty much what he was saying.
Yeah.
And I see still room to grow. I might see it a different way. Like it achieved what it was supposed to. It achieved.
Okay,
what it
we
was
got
supposed
1 minute left
Okay.
in our program. But what is one last thing that you can tell the viewing and hearing
to. Be
audience?
yourself.
Yourself.
Be yourself and be honest. Get the lies and all the fronting and stuff out the way and get to work at it because your gifts make room for you.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of other faiths that listen to our program.
Oh.
There's Muslims, there's Jews, there's Zoroastrians.
I
there's
still meant
Druze.
what I said.
Yeah. It applies to the human race. It applies to
Amen.
all of them. All of them. Well, thank you very much, Michelle, for coming and being interviewed.
Thank you.
You're
That
an
was
up close and
different.
personal.
That was
Can we
different.
call you back again one day?
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. I really thank you for what you do in our community and how humble you are and inspirational. I
Thank you.
appreciate that. You and your producer. I
Thank you very
appreciate that.
much. And Next week,
Oh, I wanted to give a shout out to Zap Zone.
that zone.
Zap Zone,
Go ahead.
who I gifted them with some cards, you guys, and some
Yes.
yeah, I gifted them. Zap Zone came personally
Okay.
and gave me this summer for kids who were graduating these cards here,
Okay.
and one free standard attraction, and then they also gave me these $10 I guess you could
Gift
get a slice
certificates.
of pizza or
Yeah,
a pop or
okay.
something. So anyway, that's it. That's all I want to
Thank
say.
you very much. And I pray that you glean something from Michelle Burrell Turner's interview. But next week, on the 26th September, we're going to interview Anita Thomas. She was homeless. And we're going to talk about adversities in life and what are the answers to them and how she survived and thrives. And she's also here from the city of Flint, Michigan. You all be blessed, and we'll see you next Thursday from 11 to 12 Eastern Standard Time.